Today we're going to be taking a look at the Thule UpRide Roof Bike Rack, part number TH599000. The Thule UpRide is a roof-mounted bike rack that carries up to one bike and grips it by its tires. So this is great for bikes such as your carbon fiber bikes, your alternate frame bikes, or your kids' bikes. That may be difficult when you have the bike racks that you have to take off the front tire for. How it grips the front tire is pretty unique as well. We'll have a wheel hook to carry the front part of the tire, but then we have this wheel cage that slides up and ratchets down into place to provide extra stability while you travel. The wheel hook is adjustable at 5 points and can fit a wide variety of sizes of tires. It can also fit fat bikes with an adapter, and that's going to be part number TH599000. That is sold separately. The wheel cage also has a quick release button here. You push that in to release it. And then of course, the ratcheting action. The rear wheel cradle also has a quick release and ratcheting strap to hold that in place as well. It also has an integrated cable lock that you can pull out, wrap around your bike, and secure it. It doesn't come with a lock included. Those are sold separately, and you can find those on etrailer.com. Even though the bike rack itself is particularly long, in this case, we're not going to have an issue of clearance between our rear hatch and the bike rack, as you can see here. Now with factory raised side rails, you can make some adjustments if you do make contact. Removing the bike is just as easy. We'll start with the rear wheel strap by pushing the release. Move the strap out, and then we'll go to the front. Making sure that we're holding onto the bike when we do this, we'll hit the quick release for our wheel cage, push that up, and then we'll go to this quick release, which is going to detach the wheel cage from the wheel hook. You push up, like so. That'll release it, and then it folds flat. Now with that release, we can bring the bike back and lift it off. And with the bike off, even the wheel hook folds down and also folds flat. Both wheel cradles are adjustable back and forth to accommodate bikes of different sizes. The UpRide will work with multiple roof rack systems. Right now we have it on the Thule Aeroblades, and when you have racks that have the T-Track accessory slots, they do recommend that you use the T-Track bolts with this. Now if you'd had square, round, or factory style racks, it does come with a clamp system that can go around it, and we'll show you that as well. And it's a very easy tool-free install. You simply put it into place. Then we have these handles here that you tighten down, and they snap into place and lock it into place. Also, there's one up at the front with a plastic piece in it that can be removed and replaced with a Thule lock core as well, so you can secure this to your roof rack. When comparing this with other bike racks, one that comes up is the Yakima High Road Roof Bike Rack, part number Y02114. We have it installed on our vehicle as well, and let's go ahead and go over some of the differences between these two racks. While both of these bike racks grip the front tire by 2 parts, the Thule is slightly different as the 2 parts actually lock into place together to provide extra stability. However, the Yakima does have this turn knob on the side here that has the AccuTight tensioning that'll click once you know it's tightened down. The Thule also has the quick release as well as the ratcheting style to get it into place, but it also has multiple settings for different tire sizes. The Yakima does not. With the Thule, you do have this clamp that can go around the square, round, and most factory style roof racks, but you have to switch that out between that and the T-Track. And if you have an aero bar, you practically have to use the T-Track. Now with the Yakima, it does have the rubber-coated steel straps that wrap around almost every style roof rack, and it does come with a T-Track accessory that's sold separately. Although, I don't know why you'd necessarily want that, because with the rubber-coated steel straps, they pretty much wrap around everything, and they help protect your roof rack system as well. While with the clamp style here, this is metal to bar contact. Now that we've gone over some of the features of the bike rack, let's go ahead and show you how it installs. Since we're using aero bars today, we're going to use the T-Tracks here. We'll start by opening up the end caps, and then we'll remove our strips completely, and we'll cut these to length once we have the bike rack installed. Now we can take our bike rack, slide it into the T-Tracks, lining them up, putting them into place. And with our rear portion, we want to make sure that's lined up properly. This does adjust back and forth to accommodate that. And we can push this into place where we want it and start tightening it down. To tighten these down, you just simply turn these to the right, and the screw will tighten down like so, and then you close them down to snap them into place. We may need to move this up out of the way to do so. Do one more turn. There we go. Now we'll go to the front and repeat that process. Once we have our last latch tightened, just push it down into place. It's good to give it a shake test back and forth to make sure it's not going to move around. Now we can take our strips that we took out, cut them to length, and put them back into place. Now we can start getting our bike rack ready for our bikes. We'll start by taking the wheel hook and folding it out like so, and then we'll pull this gray tab out to open up the hook. And then you want to look in this little window here and note what tire size you're going to be using. Now as we pull this out and push this away, it goes to different settings for tires, and you want to look in this area here. Right now it's set at 20, but if we pull this out and push it up, this setting is going to be for 24. Push it out again, and then we get to the setting that we need for our 26-inch tires. Now if you keep on going, you can go to 29 and 27 plus, and then finally, the fat bike tire size. And of course, we're not using that today. Now that we have the wheel hook ready, we'll come to our wheel cage here, and we'll go to our thumb lever, push that in, and pull it out all the way and set it back down. Let's make sure it's out of the way. When we put our bike into place, we can slide everything in. Then we'll take our bike, setting it on the bike rack, bringing it to our wheel hook first, then bringing up our wheel cage until you hear that click. And that's the wheel cage engaging with the actual wheel hook. And then to get the wheel cage tightened around the tire as well, it simply ratchets down. You want to get it nice and tight. And then we can move to our rear wheel and make our connections back there. Bring our strap through. That ratchets down as well. You may need to make an adjustment to the tire just to make sure that the strap goes through the spokes and is not rubbing up against them. Now that we've shown you how it installs on Aeroblade bars, let's go ahead and show you how it installs on square bars. So you set it in place just like you would the other style, although this is slightly different. For one, you'll see it has these T-fittings here as opposed to the T-track fittings that we had on earlier. Next, we'll take the clamps that actually slide underneath and wrap around the bars and install those. Now, in the instructions, they say to install these first, but for me, I would like to put them on later just in case it would make contact with the roof as I'm setting it down. Because these are metal, so you go to the top portion here, and you kind of slide that down, and you wrap it up underneath to where it catches that T-bolt. And we'll repeat this for the other two clamps. The point is pretty much tightening it down like we did before. Yeah, now it's nice and tight, and it's not going to move. Now we'll repeat that process for the front, and we're going to be ready to go. Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And there you have it for the Thule UpRide Roof Bike Rack, part number TH599000.